I do think it's safe to say that this console generation will go down in history for some of the worst reasons possible. Seriously, has there ever been another console generation where the price of hardware has gone up, and in Sony's case, twice, 5 years into the generation? And on top of that, we've had Microsoft boast about record profits, but despite all of that, Microsoft has somehow found a way to make everyone hate them, despite coming off a relatively big win with the Oblivion remaster. So just to rewind the clock a little bit, it was only a few days ago that Microsoft put out their latest earnings report and revealed that Xbox revenue was climbing, but hardware sales were down. Same old story for the past God knows how long at this stage. Software up, hardware down. Xbox games selling on multiple platforms. Xboxes themselves don't fucking sell. We've been through this a million fucking times, okay? So we all know this. But then it gets really interesting because I wake up this morning to this. Microsoft raises the price of all Xbox Series consoles, Xbox games, and confirmed to hit $80 this holiday. So I reckon it was like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we were all making fun of PlayStation for yet again raising the price of the PS5. We're 5-6 years, whatever it is, into this console generation and prices are going up. That makes no sense. That is stupid and borderline retarded. It should be going down. We all know that. But here we have Microsoft saying prices are going up. PlayStation did the exact same thing. But this is where it gets really fucked up. $80 games. Now, obviously, Nintendo already announced they were doing that. And really quickly, before I get into this, the absolute stupidest, most brain-dead take I've seen on this one was someone said, I am not making this up, someone said, Nintendo has earned the right for $80 games, Microsoft has. Stop sucking corporate dick. I don't care what console you prefer. Never suck corporate dick. It's infected. Suck my dick. It's clean, okay? It's different. But here we go.
Clean to an extent.
Microsoft is raising the prices on Xbox by a lot. So in an announcement today, the company said it'll be raising prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, headsets, and some games. The price hike for the consoles and accessories kicks in May 1st. Over here in Australia, it's currently May 2nd, so it's already fucking happened. And while game prices will stay the same for now, we should expect to see Xbox charging $80 USD for new first-party games around holiday season. So here we have all the prices here. Look at this one. Xbox Series S, it was $300, $380. This one was $350. It's now $430. This is madness. Absolute fucking madness. But the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this stuff about the Xbox games going to $80 was this 2025 Call of Duty, the one that's probably Black Ops 7, $80. Gears of War E-Day, $80. And these will be the same prices on Steam, okay? And PlayStation people should be pretty upset about this because we saw earlier this week that one of the best-selling games at the moment on PlayStation was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is a fucking Xbox game. Everyone is being fucked by these decisions. There is no competition within this industry anymore. They're all working together to fuck the consumers over as much as possible, all right? We got Nintendo pretty much with the death blow to physical media. Of all fucking companies, it was Nintendo, right? Look, the only thing that we all know what this means. They're just pushing Game Pass and cloud-based gaming hard. They're going hard to push that because it is working for them, right? But look at this. This is $80 games that we can expect. The new Fable game, the new Perfect Dark reboot, obviously Gears E-Day, Kojima's game, State of Decay 3, and Call of Duty. It's all going to be fucking $80. This is terrible. This is absolutely fucking terrible. And you know what's even weirder? They were coming off a massive win with Oblivion.
Dude, even I forget the name because I'm retarded. 33. They come off the biggest
33 Game Pass, yeah.
The biggest stuff, and I also believe this is a way to push more people over to Game Pass. It's like, oh, you don't want to spend $80 on the game. We got Game Pass, which I do think will eventually go up probably sometime next year, right? Especially considering
it's going to go up. My guess, sorry to cut you off, but I don't see it not going up before this year's COD. It's got to go up before this year's COD, right?
I think next year, because what'll happen is they'll have all these bangers, keep people happy. Then next year, rise it up then, because then they can go, look, we got a Doom. Doom will probably have its first DLC at that time.
We've got, you know what they're going to do to raise it? I know the game, and it's going to fucking suck. It's going to be Perfect Dark Remember, Perfect Dark was the first ever quadruple A game announced. And that will be their excuse. The budget on Perfect Dark is so high. I mean, the quality is going to be so high too. You're going to have to pay a premium on Game Pass now. And the game's probably going to be shit. But I think that's their excuse. They're going to use the fact that Perfect Dark is a quadruple A game to then raise the price.
I don't buy this shit that games are getting harder to make because as games are evolving, their developer tool sets are also evolving, you know, like on both ends. And
John, with that though, sorry, but I'm in full agreement. How can you tell me it's getting hard when everything's on Unreal 5?
Right, yeah.
God.
Yeah, and I don't like Nintendo's excuse, for example, where they didn't even go into manufacturing costs or anything, I think, really, when they were justifying their prices. They were saying, we are offering like a new big experience in the form of like Mario Kart World, for example, where it's all seamless and, you know, and I'm just like, is it really that more big and impressive than something like GTA 5 or Elden Ring, which are relatively much older games now? And like I just don't see it as, I mean, it looks cool, but I don't think it's this groundbreaking experience that justifies a price hike. I think that's all just bullshit. And now, you know, Nintendo's opened the floodgates and Microsoft is looking at them. And, you know, partially, I imagine it's manufacturing costs and supply chain issues and tariffs or whatever. But then I think it's also like, hey, Nintendo's doing it, or hey, Sony just did it.
So I was gonna say Sony did it quietly. People didn't notice Sony doing it because the only reason why I noticed was I went on EB Games just to look at prices, and I realized some games were $120, and I'm like, fucking what?
Hasn't Sony done it twice in this generation?
This generation, yes. But this is interesting, this part. Microsoft issued IGN with the following statement as to why the price increases were taking place. Cream, would you be so kind to read this official Microsoft statement?
Sure thing. We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made careful. Oh, Jesus. All right. I'll start over. We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players.
Game Pass and cloud-based, that's what they're saying there. That's what they're saying there.
They're moving out of hardware. And so I think, honestly, you just keep the prices the way they are and then say we're moving into cloud-based gaming. There's going to be a cloud-based Xbox, but you're not going to be able to download shit on there. I think that's the way you go with this. If that's what you want to do, jump in 2 feet. But they're kind of like pussyfooting around where they're dipping their toes in the water and then running back to the beach anytime they get a little bit wet. And it's like, well, you got to choose. Do you want to be innovating on cloud gaming, or do you want to fucking sell the hardware like you did before? Because you clearly don't know how to do both.
This is the most Microsoft move that Microsoft could possibly do. Let me set the scene for you. Everyone's hating fucking Nintendo because, you know, the $80 and shit like that. And to all the Nintendo fucking retards out there, that does not mean it's not going to sell. Of course it's going to fucking sell. It's the Switch 2. But it's still okay to criticize the pricing point. All right, retards, get back to fucking licking the light bulbs that you were born to do. Okay? But everyone's pissed off at them. Everyone's pissed off at PlayStation because they announced their second price hike and they're coming out with Marathon. All right? That's their fucking answer. Marathon. Everyone's pissed at them. What's going on over at Microsoft? They put out the fucking Oblivion remake, which most people are very happy with the price. There's Claire Obscure 33. Everyone's pretty happy about the fucking price with that. That's all going on. And they go, okay, how do we fuck this up? Right here. Fucking Microsoft, you brain dead retards, dude. This is what they fucking do, man. Retards. It's madness. But what can you expect? I mean, they have a long history of fucking doing this, man. But really? Not even 1 week. Not even 7 days can you sit on a fucking win. You got to fuck it up. And again, like PlayStation's most successful games are fucking Xbox games. Every time we look at the charts of what was the most selling shit, it's always a fucking Microsoft-owned game. So PlayStation people get fucked even though they did nothing. They're just sitting here, you know, sucking on their fucking thumbs because that's what they do. And then they get fucked by this. Steam, they're going to have to jack their prices because of this shit as well. Everyone fucking lose. Like I said, The industry is not about competing anymore. It's about working together to fuck over with the consumer. Shout out Brain Damage.
I have a website that we looked at before on the show, but it's a nice time to bring it up. It's a great website called Killed by Microsoft. And it shows you every fucking thing that's killed. Like, for example, Skype. Skype is dying in October 2025. That's nice. Mail. They killed Mail. Guys, remember Mail? Well, it's dead. Calendar is dead. They killed off a lot of these apps. Paint 3D, WordPad, Visual Studio for Mac. I mean, we go back even further here.
That's funny. It's like a digital graveyard. That's great.
It is.
That's really good,
Every
isn't
single
it?
one. Let's go all the way back to Xenix. Yeah, you remember that? It's dead. 3D Movie Maker, dead. Microsoft Bob. Microsoft Cinemania.
There's absolutely no way in almighty fuck that GTA 6 is not $100 USD now.
Yeah.
It was going to be $100 regardless. And then when they saw Nintendo do it, they're like, oh, fuck yeah. And then they saw Microsoft do it, they're like, oh, fuck yeah.
And
Well,
they're
they
looking at
killed-
all the
they killed
people
Mrs.
defending.
Dewey.
Yeah, like they're seeing all the people defend the game, and they know they have a more cult following. People will defend the $100 price up for Rockstar, right?
Yeah.
It's GTA, of course it's $100, right? People will defend it, so that's what they're looking at. Is all of the people defending Nintendo, all the people defending all these companies who are doing all this shit, and they're like, "Oh, we can get away with this and win."
Yeah,
You-
I'm not saying they should. And like, I don't like the argument where it's like we're offering a bigger, greater experience than ever before. But if you're going to use that excuse for any game, it would probably be GTA 6, not like Mario Kart. Like, I mean, I'm looking forward to Mario Kart, but come on. I mean, GTA 6 is probably going to push the boundaries considerably in what you can accomplish in terms of like graphics rendering and AI and animation systems all blending together to create like I mean, we'll see when it comes out. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, from what I've heard, insider devs talking about it, it's just like people are going to be blown away by this. And I kind of believe them, given that they've tended to push the envelope.
I'm someone that's pretty skeptical about GTA 6. I'm one of that crowd, but even my side is going, yeah, it's probably going to blow you away, like with the fucking how much of a leap
Graphics.
forward it is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's entirely possible that they will even go beyond $80 US. Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't it wild now where Rockstar has found themselves in a position where all they have to do is put out the game for $80 USD and they look like good guys?
Dude, you imagine if they just do $70. If you imagine if it's them who do the normal pricing and all the people that will flock to that shit, because like I'm pretty sure me and Cream ran into this, because they're gonna make their money back on sharp cards anyway, right?
Yeah.
And if they do like $100 Australian, right? People will go, oh well, these guys are the good guys. So you know what? I might actually just
The
buy a couple of
psychology
sharp
thing
cards.
of, wow, I thought I was going to get fucked in the ass, and instead they just kissed me on the lip.
Yeah.
You know?
So-
Or it's like, now it's like, oh, I actually am grateful for what they did, and it's like they're not losing any money, they're making a shit ton, and it will force you to spend more money because now you're grateful for the lower price.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it is actually a I don't think it's likely, but it is a possibility that they will keep it like an acceptable price. And not only do they get that goodwill, but then they get an increase in sales, and they have that many more people contributing to their online mode, whatever the fuck, you know, which
That's
they're
where
going to
they
make a
make their
fortune
money.
from. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.